All right, I got a funny little story. It kind of comes around, and so Eminem has a history of like harming people. I'm not going to do it in chronological order. He likes to throw hate mail at people. He did Machine Gun Kelly. He beat him down for a time. One of his newest songs, "Don't Front," had to do with a little guy in front of a shack with a door kind of hanging off the hinges and stuff like that in his music video, and it could have been a little log cabin type of thing. I mean, I live in a little log cabin, so no, no relation. Prince, formerly known as Prince. Anyways, he's supporting some stuff that I would say is not godly, and he also attacked Michael Jackson, and this is the funniest part, right? Michael Jackson wasn't having it, so Michael Jackson tried to sue him in court because he was rapping about Michael made fun of him or whatever. And I personally like Michael's one of the songs that's like really underrated. He did a Brazilian music video. I think the song's called "They Don't Really Care About Us." That was one of my favorite Michael Jackson songs. You don't hear it very often, but if you listen to it and you listen to the lyrics, it really, really hits home. It kicks ass, and it tells you exactly why the establishment attacked him later on in life, because he was fighting for the people. Anyway, so what Michael Jackson did when he tried to sue Eminem and he lost the suit, he kind of asked, I think his advisors or whatever, what he could do. And so what his advisors had said was that you got the money to buy his entire label company, that the label that he actually has signed under and has all of his music under. And so Michael Jackson went over to the owner of the label that Eminem had signed his basically his life over to, and he bought them out. He bought the entire damn company, probably for a premium price. But yeah, so what happened is that Michael Jackson had basically bought Eminem. Like everything that Eminem had done for his work had become Michael Jackson's property. So it's kind of like Michael Jackson was like, you can't write bad songs about me anymore, because now everything that you have is mine. And I mean, I guess that's kind of what you have to do when someone's completely misbehaving and won't stop harming you. But that was kind of something that happened to Michael Jackson along his life. And that song, "They Don't Really Care About Us," it was about the little people, the people the bigger people up top will step on and think nothing of it. They'll think it's okay to step and shit on someone and treat them like dirt, play with their heart, fuck with them, anything like that for a little kick when they're a narcissist and they're a nasty person. A lot of people have a tendency of doing that when they're rich and bored. So back to that, that "Don't Front" was the third strike. We'll put it that way. So he fucked with someone that you could say is equivalent to, or well, the influence that Michael Jackson had might not have been able to supersede the person that Eminem just fucked with. That being said, it's either the second or biggest mistake of his entire life. Who knows? Because he might make mistakes in the future bigger than that. I have a hard time seeing that. And so it all kind of comes back around to situations where some people, you could say, you look at like communist countries, here's a good example. Communist country, the people of that country are basically property of the country, the dictator, the ruler of the country. And it's not unlike that in some other countries that aren't communist. Can't really say that a democracy really owns its people. You have more freedom in a democracy, but there's other forms of government where they might have made a mistake and left a loophole that made it so essentially the people are the property of the government. And so when you're in the upper echelon, and instead of owning territories or cities and stuff like that, you're way up there and you're negotiating countries and trying to figure out how to make everything work so people can feed themselves and the wars can stop and shit like that. make sure that bombs don't go off, and God, all the basic essentials, like Maslow's hierarchy of human needs is like really one of the basic essentials pyramids that I always look at, because self-actualization always comes at the end. It's at the capstone of the pyramid, but you got to work on the basic essentials like food, shelter, water, friendship, family unit, interaction, stuff like that, work, purpose in life. Those are kind of the basic needs, the two bottom tiers of the foundation of a pyramid of Maslow's hierarchy of human needs. But back to what I was saying is that you could have somebody that you don't even realize that all of a sudden you're in a country where you're essentially property of the government, and all of a sudden somebody buys the country. You don't even know who bought the country. All of a sudden, you as a citizen in that country become property of a upper echelon person, and you wouldn't even know it until things started happening. But yeah, it's kind of an interesting thing, because I was thinking about Michael Jackson, and I realized that can happen on a much higher scale with a lot more people that are behaving badly. Anyways, this is just kind of like a midnight thought, deep thoughts by Jack Handey. If you like to watch Mad TV, I believe that was on Mad TV, Deep Thoughts by Jack Handey. You might want to look some of that up. It's some of the most, I would say, they're deep thoughts. They're very deep thoughts. Anyways, have a good night, have a good day, have a good evening, have a good lunch, second breakfast, whatever you do. And I hope that this message receives you well, and I hope that you understand what I'm trying to say. So have a good night. Don't forget to behave and treat your neighbor nice, right? That's, I think, what you're supposed to do. I wish I could do that. My neighbor doesn't even hardly talk to me. I don't know why. Maybe because I'm an asshole. I don't really care. He doesn't hardly say anything to me. But, it is what it is. Have a good one. Bye.